As East African neighbors, we share a lot: culture, borders, trade, even slang. But behind that unity, there are also some interesting opinions, stereotypes, and unspoken truths. Guys, I feel like us Ugandans and Kenyans, we have like a lot in common. Though there are also some a little bit of difference. Hi guys, how are you all doing? Hope you guys are doing amazing. As for me, I'm doing great and I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I hope you guys are ready for today's topic. Anyways guys, if you don't know me, my name is Harriet Anabo. I'm a content creator from Kampala, Uganda, and today I'm representing my country, Uganda. Some people actually confuse me to be Kenyan, but guys, I keep on telling you this. I come from Uganda, the pearl of Africa, alright? Born and raised from Uganda. But anyways, guys, kindly, if you don't know me, check me out on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Guys, today, guess what? We have another sit down. Guys, whenever I do sit downs, I'm always so excited because this is when actually I get to interact more with you guys, because sometimes people ask me, Harriet, since you're Ugandan, what do you think about our Kenyans? Today we are going to be talking about this topic, which goes, what do Ugandans really think of Kenyans? You know, I've been to Kenya. I was born and raised in Uganda, so I feel like I have a lot of experiences on both sides, because for the people who are watching me, for those ones who don't know, I've been to Kenya like something like 3 times. The first time I went to Kenya, I went to Migori County, which is near Buhanse village, Ayamara's village, and then the second time I went to Kenya, I went to Nairobi. The third time I went to Nairobi. The fourth time still I visited Nairobi and the Rift Valley, also the other sides, okay? Yeah, so I feel like I've exhausted Kenyans. So today I'm going to be giving you actually what Ugandans think of Kenyans, guys. Let me tell you, I'm so excited about this topic, guys. I hope you guys are ready. Guys, let me even not lie. When it comes to Kenyans, they're very bold and very confident. I'm not saying that Ugandans are not confident and bold. Guys, don't come for me. But I think we admire this from the Kenyans. When it comes, they are very bold. Like a Kenyan will tell you something the way it is. I'm interacted with a lot of Kenyans. I have a lot of Kenyan friends, you know. But the confidence, the boldness they have, I mean, like, we admire that as Ugandans, okay? They're just outspoken, fast moving, and they're always business minded. Let me even not lie. Guys, tell me why a Kenyan will, like, if you're watching it from Kenya, tell me why someone would go for work, like in the morning, lunchtime they go to some other job, even in the evening they go to some other job. Like, a Kenyan is a person that you find has 3 jobs in a day. Who does that? Yo, like, when I was in Kenya, I was very shocked when I saw that, you guys. Let me even not lie. Like, Kenyans are really business minded. Come to Uganda, it's a different case. Here, people just wake up in the morning, they go and they do their like, it's very rare to find someone doing 3 jobs in a day. You understand? Like, it's very rare here in Uganda. So we admire that from the Kenyans. See, you cannot stay in Kenya when you don't have money. Starting from accommodation, food, things are expensive in Kenya. Kenya is expensive, yani. So I realize, like, why people work so hard there. Like, they're really so business minded. People hustle there, starting from tech workers to border riders. Those are the Kenyans. You understand? So I now know why Kenyans actually are so hardworking. I think because of the country, because it's fast moving. Like, people that just mind their own businesses. So I feel like Ugandans, we admire that from Kenyans. The fact that they're so business minded, the fact that they are outspoken, confident, bold. Yani, Kenyans are very bold. You see, like, Kenyans, yani, when they want something, they're so aggressive. When they want something, they go for it. Those are the Kenyans. So I feel like we admire that as Ugandans. While Ugandans are viewed as more calm, for us, we are more calm, polite, and reserved. You know, like, most of the time, actually, for us, our culture, when it comes to our culture, okay, let me just give an example of, let me say, when I'm married somewhere, most of the time I'm supposed to kneel for my husband, or I'm supposed to kneel for my elders, which is different from Kenya, because I mean, we're all coming from different cultures. Kenyan will not kneel for you. Like, how? You know, like, when I was kneeling for people in Kenya, actually, people were very shocked. I remember the time when I went to Migori County, Ayamara's village, and then there's a video that we did, and then I was giving a gift, you know. Then I had to kneel down, but everyone was shocked. They were like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? So I feel like that's our culture. With a Kenyan, they'll just be like, oh, shika. But for us, you have to kneel down. Even the way we speak, I mean, you cannot just speak to your elder. Kenyans, please don't come for me, but this is just our culture. You cannot just stand on your elder and then you just say it the way it is. If I want to communicate something, sometimes I don't bring it straight. I have to pass through somewhere, and then I learned where I'm supposed to, you understand, like I say it at the end. But with Kenyans, they don't have that time. They'll just say it the way it is. Those are the Kenyans. Some people say Kenyans are louder, of which I don't know about that, but I feel like that is not the way it is, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because that's their culture. It's just a different way of expressing themselves. Some people might be like, oh, Kenyans are louder. And when it comes to language, Kenyans have a strong Swahili influence, while in Uganda, English and Uganda dominate. Now, when it comes to Uganda, I think I've talked about this like a lot of times. Most people ask me, Harriet, how comes you're from Uganda? And Ugandans and Kenyans, we're actually bordering each other. How comes you guys don't know Swahili, So I always tell people, here in Uganda, people who know Swahili are the politicians, are the people who are in the army, the police people who do businesses, who do imports and exports, like those big businessmen, you understand? I think that the people who know a lot of Swahili, like it is very rare to find a regular Ugandan knowing Swahili. So rare, So I feel like for us, we dominate more when it comes to Luganda and English. But also the Kenyans, they know English because we're all colonized by the British, So, but with Kenyans, they have a strong Swahili influence. Like they speak a lot of Swahili, you understand? So, of which I understand, because it is their national language. Guys, let me also talk about this other point, which goes hardworking and business-minded. Many Ugandans admire Kenyans for their entrepreneurial spirit and ability to hustle in almost any situation. Now with Kenyans are really hustlers, guys. Ugandans, we are hustlers, but I feel like Kenyans are real hustlers, Kenya is a country whereby you find literally everyone is hustling, starting from the Gen Zs. Because I remember when I went to Kenya, most of the time I would find the Gen Zs on the streets, like doing TikTok. Literally, people just work so hard in Kenya. Kenya is that country that you can be in and you just don't lazy around. You have to just work so hard. Because literally everyone who is surrounding you, they are literally working. They're literally business-minded. They have that entrepreneurial spirit, starting from the Gen Zs, starting from the tech workers and the border risers. Like you can find really everyone hustling. Kenyans really work so hard. They really hustle. So that one really, really, we admire it like a lot as Ugandans, because wouldn't want to be around people who are really business-minded. Me, actually, when I went to Kenya, I realized, okay, I think this is the place I need to be in, because I'm one person who is a go-getter, I'm one person who wants to grab every opportunity. So those are the Kenyans. So when I was in Kenya, I was like, wow, okay. I think this is where I deserve to be, because people are really so hardworking in Kenya. People are really so entrepreneurial, starting from the Gen Zs, border riders. Like literally everyone is busy. People are selling stuff, street vendors. You can find them like in the evening on the road, selling stuffs on the road, guys. So I feel like I feel like that one we admire it like a lot as Ugandans. Kenyans are really so competitive, you guys. Let me even not lie. A lot of Ugandans respect how Kenyans hustle. From Nairobi to Mombasa, Kenya is seen as a fast-paced, competitive and ambitious. Guys, I think I've said it like a lot of times. I've been to Kenya like a lot of times, and let me tell you, the first time I went to Kenya, I was literally almost lost, because Kenya is a fast-paced country, Literally you read it, especially Nairobi, like people are just here and they're like, people are just minding their own businesses, people are just out there working so hard, always competitive, always ambitious. Those are the Kenyans, like Kenyans are really go-getters, guys. So as Ugandans, we admire that from Kenyans, the fact that they are hustlers, starting from Nairobi to Mombasa. Because guys, I've been to Mombasa, it was still the same scenario. Because when I also went to Mombasa, you literally see, because Mombasa actually is a coastal area of Kenya, so I think I saw that in Malindi, I saw that in Watamu, I saw that in the coast, Mombasa, because I was also in Mombasa. And Mombasa is full of beaches, But you find the Gen Zs or the youth actually working so hard, on the At the beaches, people are selling swimming costumes. What? They're literally getting themselves busy, like to earn a living. Because literally, Kenya is expensive, guys. You cannot be in Kenya when you don't have money. So I know why Kenyans actually, they're very hardworking, very competitive. So we admire that a lot from the Kenyans. Very ambitious. In Uganda, some think Kenyans are more aggressive in business, of which is right, because when it comes to businesses, Kenyans, they're always there. They don't play. They don't play when it comes to business. They're always aggressive, Whether it's companies expanding in Uganda or Kenyans working in top positions, you will hear mixed reactions. Okay, so with Kenyans, they're known to be business oriented. Guys, I don't want to say that Ugandans were not business oriented, but I feel like Kenyans are more like they are really so aggressive, very ambitious, when it comes to businesses. Even here in Uganda, you find they've got like a lot of businesses here in Uganda, but they're really, really so determined. They're so business minded. Okay. Some admire it, while others feel like Kenyans sometimes look down on Ugandans, especially when it comes to development or international image. I'm not saying this in a bad way, but call a spade, guy. But the thing is, Ugandans really admire Kenyans and Kenya as a country, because Kenya is so developed. Let me even not lie. So when Kenyans talk about their country, we don't take it in a bad way, okay? Because the fact that they are proud of their country, and me as a Ugandan, I've been to Kenya, and I was like, oh my goodness, okay. Sometimes I hear Kenyans and then they be like, Harriet, what we have actually is not what we need. I'm like, okay, what do you guys really need? Because I feel like what you guys have is what we want in Uganda. So you find maybe sometimes Ugandans feel low a little bit when a Kenyan talks to them, but it's not in a bad way, because that is how they are, guys. If you've never stayed with Kenyans, you'll never understand. With a Kenyan, they will say it the way it is. They'll not beat around the bush. You understand? So I feel like sometimes Ugandans might take it in a bad way when Kenyans talk about their developments in the country. Because with Kenya, it has the international image, guys. I've always talked about this. When you go to Kenya, it looks like just like America. There's a place that is just like New York. Sometimes when I talk about this, people be like, Harriet, do you mean what you say? Guys, I've been there. I have all the experience, So I feel like if you've not traveled, if you've never been to Kenya, and if a Kenyan comes in Uganda and talks about their country, Ugandans might feel like, really? Did he have to say that? But that's the truth. Kenya is so developed. It has the international image. Everyone who goes to Kenya, they leave Kenya while testifying. You understand? Because literally Kenya has everything. Talk of the lifestyle. They have the trendy restaurants. Talk of cafes, nightlife, places like Alchemist, stylish people, fashion-forward youth, Afrobeats. They also have Benga culture. Nairobi has a vibe and energy you won't feel anywhere else. Guys, let me even not lie. Guys, this is another thing that Ugandans actually really think of Kenyans. Another point is developed infrastructure. Guys, we admire this a lot from Kenya as a country. I feel like the government of Kenya has really done a good job, because the country is so developed. It has a lot of skyscrapers. When you're in Kenya, I feel like even you're not in Kenya. I've always said this, guys, and I won't stop saying it, but Kenya is so developed. It's on another level, okay? So when it comes to develop infrastructures, Kenya is top notch. So we admire that a lot about Kenya and Kenyans, because, it's so developed. Uganda often looks to Kenya, especially Nairobi, guys, as an example of a more developed African city in terms of transport, economy, and technology. Guys, when it comes to Nairobi, it's so developed. So I feel like Ugandans, we look at Nairobi as an example. Sometimes when you look at Kenya, or when you go to Kenya, you be like, wow. When a Ugandan goes to Kenya, they be like, wow, where am I? Been there. I'm a Ugandan. I've been there. And I know how I was feeling at the moment. Guys, I just wish we get so developed just like Nairobi. I'm not even sugarcoating on this, but this is the truth, guys. Nairobi is so developed, So Ugandans look at that as an example. I just wish Uganda also gets there one day, because it is one of the developed African cities, guys. I'm not even lying. I'm not even capping on this. When it comes to transportation, they have a lot of means of transportation. Talk of the SGR, which takes you to Mombasa. They have the electric train. They have matatus. Guys, if you look at the matatus, now if you've never had matatu culture, Kenya is the place. Nairobi is the place. Because every time they're bringing new nganyas, they call them nganyas, especially the Rongai Road, that side of Rongai. I think they have the best nganyas. Like their matatus literally have Wi-Fi in them. It is just like a disco of its own. They have Wi-Fi, big screens. They're so wide, like big speakers, So if you want to have the best experience of matatu culture, just go to, because I feel like Nairobi is the only African city that has got the best matatu culture. I mean, they have the best. I'm not even lying. I'm not even capping on this one. Okay, so when I feel like Ugandans admire that a lot, because when you see the developments, actually starting from the transportation, there's a lot, the economy itself, the technology. Kenya is taking over when it comes to tech in Africa. I've done a video about this and I explained why. Talk of M-Pesa, actually, the mobile money revolution, it works so well in Kenya. Here in Uganda, you can go to a shopping mall, yes, you can use M-Pesa, which you call mobile money here. You can use mobile money, but literally you cannot use that mobile money everywhere here in Uganda. But with Kenya, literally everything you can purchase it using mobile money. Buy goods and services using mobile money. Even here, we can buy goods and services using mobile money. But one thing that shocked me is you go to a local market, like grocery shop, you use M-Pesa in Kenya. So I feel like M-Pesa is because Kenya is a country that is cashless, is known to be cashless. But in Uganda, we are used to having like cash everywhere. Like literally with Uganda, we use cash almost each and everywhere. But with Kenya, they're cashless. People just get their phones and just transact. You understand? That is Kenya for you. So I feel like we should also adopt that here in Uganda. So if I say that Kenya is taking over in tech in Africa, I'm not even lying, guys. Talk of the Silicon Savannah, guys. Right now, they have a project that is ongoing. Talk of Kenza Technopolis, which is a smart city being built outside Nairobi, guys. I've talked about this like a lot of times. So I feel like when it comes to technology, it takes it. Kenya is so developed, Guys, I now know why actually they call Kenya the Silicon Savannah. Kenya is called the Silicon Savannah because it has become a major hub for technology, innovation, and startups in Africa, much like Silicon Valley in the United States, but with a unique African identity and purpose. Now, Kenya, it's so developed, guys. Right now, they are coming up with a smart city known as Konza Technopolis. Konza Technopolis is actually a smart city that is built outside Nairobi. I think it's located about 70 kilometers from Nairobi, and it is designed to build a high-tech hub combining innovation, business, research, and modern urban living. So when you look at that as Ugandans, we feel like, wow, we really admire Kenya and Kenyans, guys. The development, the way, the country is just so developed. So when you look at that, I just wish one time also our country gets there. So these are the things that really admire from Kenyans and Kenya as a country, guys, as Ugandans. Now, when it comes to sports, guys, when you hear the word sports, Kenyans are known for athletics. Kenyan athletics, music, and TV are popular in Uganda, creating a sense of admiration. Now, guys, when you hear the word Kenya, the first thing that will come into your mind is world-class runners. Kenyans are so good at athletics. Kenyans are known to be world-class runners. I remember even when the time I was in Eldoret, and then there's a place we exited inside, where you find a lot of people go there to train. Like they train from there. I'm forgetting that place. If you know that place, let me know in the comment section. But I think I'm forgetting that place. But that is where you find like a lot of runners going to, like people travel all the way from Europe, America, they come and train from that area. When people hear Kenya and sports, one word usually comes to mind: running. But Kenya's sporting talent goes way beyond the track. Kenya is the most famous for long distance running. For those ones who don't know, actually, Kenya is the most famous for long distance running. From the Olympics to marathons, Kenyan athletics dominate globally, you know. Names like Eliud Kipchoge, names like David Rudisha, Brigid Kosgei are legends, and most of them come from regions like Iten. Yeah, actually, I think when I was in the Rift Valley, that side of the Rift Valley, we went to Iten. Yeah, we left Eldoret, then we proceeded inside Iten. I think that is where we went. Yes, Iten, where you find a lot of Kenyan athletics, like people, runners, world-class runners. Okay, so regions like Iten and Rift Valley, that is where you find them. Okay. Yeah, so I believe when it comes to sports, we admire Kenyans a lot, especially athletics. Like, they're so good at athletics, and not only athletics, they're so good in other things. Okay, not only that, but with sports, they're so known. Guys, let me also talk about this point, which goes education and media. Kenyans are also respected for their education system and strong media industry. Many Ugandans grew up watching Kenyan news, music, or even soap operas. That has shaped how we see them, sometimes with admiration, sometimes with a sense of competition, you know. But let's be honest, Kenyans are good at telling their stories and branding themselves. Sometimes we Ugandans can learn from, you know, like Kenyans have really represented themselves when it comes to media, you know, when it comes to entertainment, Kenyans are there. So I feel like they're so good at branding themselves. So I mean, we have a lot to learn from the Kenyans. So that is another thing that, I mean, I'll talk about here. Let me talk about friendship, marriage, and unity. Now, I remember at the time actually when I was in Kenya, most of the time people used to ask me, where are you from? And I used to tell them I'm from Uganda. Guys, I don't know, but there's this thing Kenyan men love about Ugandan women. Like, drop a comment and let me know, because I realize like Kenyan men love Ugandan women like a lot. So when it comes to marriages, friendships, I feel like we're so close. And actually, Kenyans are seen as ambitious, stylish, and fun. Beyond that, Ugandans and Kenyans actually have a lot of love for each other. We work together, stay together, and many families are now mixed across borders. Let me even not lie. Nowadays, we have a lot of cross marriages. You find a Ugandan getting married to a Kenyan. So I feel like when it comes to real friendships, when it comes to unity, we are there. We are so united. I feel like even we're just like brothers and sisters. Like, most times when I have conversations with Kenyans, all they say, oh, our sister from Uganda. Like, they always love the fact that we are neighbors. We're just like we are kind of similar. Not so much similar, but we are somehow similar to the Kenyans, you know. So I feel like we have that love. We studied together. Even now, you find like there are a lot of Kenyans actually who are studying from Uganda. They're studying from Ugandan universities all the way from Kenya. So even you find Ugandans go and study from Kenya, because I mean, Kenya is one of the countries that is known for, in Africa, that is known for good education. So I feel like we work together. We just love each other. We love each other. Ugandans and Kenyans love each other, guys. Many Ugandans respect Kenyans, but also see them as very different in personality, more direct, ambitious, and competitive, while Ugandans see themselves as more polite, calm, and reserved. The truth is, it's a mix, you know. There is admiration, competition, respect, a few stereotypes, and growing sense of East African unity, you know. At the end of the day, we are brothers and sisters. Our similarities are bigger than other differences, okay? And if we continue to support and learn from each other, East Africa will only grow stronger. Now, guys, you can let me know in the comment section, if you're Ugandan, what's your honest opinion about Kenyans? Because according to me, this was a sit-down video and I did a lot of research what Ugandans really do think about Kenyans, and this is what I think. Everything that I've discussed about, I think this is what I'm thinking as me. So if you're watching me from Uganda, you can drop comments and let me know what is your opinion about Kenyans, okay? And if you're Kenyan, how do you view Ugandans? You can also let me know, you know, in the comment section. Let's have that conversation in the comment section. All right, guys, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Don't forget to share this video to your friends and family, and don't forget also to tap on the notification bell so that every time I post a video, you're always notified. Let me be ending this video from here. Thank you so much for watching me from beginning to the end of this video, guys, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. My name is Harriet Anabo. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you all. Love is for free. Share the love. Bye bye.